Have you ever been troubleshooting something, maybe tweaking every setting you can imagine, and then you realize the real issue is something, well, something foundational you weren't even looking at?
Happens all the time.
Yeah. So today we're doing a deep dive into screen printing. Specifically, something super important but maybe a bit overlooked. Mesh tension.
Ah, yes. Crucial stuff.
Right, and it's actually two things. Static tension and dynamic tension.
Two sides of the same coin, really.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack these forces, show how getting a grip on how they work together is pretty much the shortcut to getting those precise, repeatable, really top-notch prints.
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with static tension. What exactly is it? It's like the mesh's default state.
Yeah, think of it as the inherent tautness. You stretch the mesh, bond it to the frame. That's its resting state.
Like tuning a drum head, maybe. Get it nice and tight before you play.
That's a perfect analogy. And it's absolutely non-negotiable if you want clean, sharp prints. It's the foundation.
Okay, and how do you actually measure this? Is it just a feeling?
Oh, no, it's quantifiable. We use a tension meter. It measures the force. Usually in newtons per centimeter, you'll see it written as ensimeter.
Ensimeter, right.
And you place the meter right in the center of the screen. It's important to measure both ways along the threads, which we call warp, and across them the weft.
Gotcha. So warp and weft, are there target numbers?
Definitely. For professional work, you're often looking at, say, 25 to 35 N centimeters.
Okay.
For really high-res stuff, it might even push up to 30, maybe even 50 N centimeter. But that initial tightness, that static tension, it really sets the stage for everything else.
So if static is the tuned drum head at rest, dynamic tension must be when you actually hit the drum.
Exactly. It's the force in action. It's that constantly changing tension on the mesh during the print stroke. It's momentary. It's variable.
And what causes that change?
It's the squeegee. As that blade moves across the screen, pushing the ink through, it presses the mesh down onto whatever you're printing on the substrate. That downward force momentarily increases the mesh tension. That spike is dynamic tension.
So it's directly linked to the static tension you started with.
Absolutely. Go back to the drum head. If it's got high static tension, really taut.
Right.
It snaps back instantly when you hit it. Quick, sharp rebound. If it's loose, low static tension.
It's sluggish, kind of floppy.
Precisely. Sluggish response. And this brings up a really important point. Are you maybe pushing harder with the squeegee to make up for low static tension?
Trying to force it.
Yeah, and that's just not the way. It creates a whole host of other problems instead of solving the root cause.
Okay, I can see that. Like, what kind of problems are we talking about if you try to compensate like that?
Blurry prints for one.
Mm-hmm.
The ink deposit might be uneven, inconsistent. You can even get moire patterns.
Right, where the mesh pattern interferes with the image pattern.
Exactly. The mesh distorts under that extra pressure and clashes with your halftones. It all comes down to needing that proper foundation. Which leads us to the snap-off.
Okay, the snap-off. I've heard this is kind of the secret sauce. It's that moment the mesh peels away from the print.
Yes, right behind the squeegee. It needs to be a rapid, clean separation.
And it's not just lifting off gently.
Not at all. It's a dynamic event. It's driven by the mesh's own elasticity, its desire to snap back to its original static tension state.
So high static tension means?
A fast, complete snap-off. The mesh pulls away cleanly.
And why is that so critical?
Because it stops the mesh from sticking to the wet ink. If it lingers, you get blurring, smudging those muddy prints nobody wants. A clean snap-off preserves your fine lines, your halftones, all those tiny details.
So without good snap-off, detail just gets lost.
Completely. Low tension, poor snap-off, smeared ink. Simple as that.
Okay, so this is really clicking. To control the dynamic the tension during the print, you first have to nail the static tension, get that baseline right.
That's the key takeaway. Master the static to manage the dynamic.
And you mentioned something about a fatigue cycle, too. Better static tension helps the screen last longer.
It does. Think about how far the mesh has to travel up and down with each print stroke. Higher tension means less vertical movement, less stretching and relaxing overall.
Less wear and tear.
Exactly. It reduces that fatigue, so your mesh and your stencil emulsion last longer. It's a win-win.
But screens lose tension over time anyway, right? Just from use.
They do. Repeated printing, cleaning, even just sitting around environmental factors play a role. tension drops.
So you need to check it regularly.
Definitely. Some research suggests retensioning when it drops by about 2 centimeters or more from its initial value.
So having that tension meter isn't just for setup, it's for maintenance too. It turns a feeling this screen feels a bit loose into a number.
Precisely. It becomes a diagnostic tool, which, again, brings up equipment. Are you using the right frames?
Because I know those cheap wooden frames are tempting, especially starting out.
They are, but honestly, they're often called the lowest quality and the most expensive option in the long run.
Because they don't hold tension well and you replace them often.
Exactly. They warp, they lose tension quickly. For professional results, you really want retentionable frames, sometimes called roller frames.
They cost more upfront though.
They do, but it's an investment. You can retighten them on the fly, keep that tension consistent, make your mesh last way longer. They pay for themselves in consistency and longevity. They're the gold standard.
And the mesh material itself matters too, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Polyester is generally preferred over nylon because it's more dimensionally stable. It stretches less.
Good to know. Okay, so wrapping this up then, static tension it's the potential, the
Yeah.
controllable baseline.
Yeah, it's the potential energy you build into this system.
And dynamic tension is the performance, the force applied during the actual print stroke.
That's right. It's the variable force you manage by controlling the static baseline. High uniform static tension is the absolute key to that clean snap-off.
Which gives you the sharp details, the accurate registration, the consistent ink.
All of it. So buying good frames, using a tension meter that's not really a cost. It's a strategic move for quality and efficiency.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other, invisible forces or foundational things might you be trying to compensate for in your own work when maybe a simple adjustment at the base level could unlock huge improvements?
That's a great question to ponder. Often the biggest gains come from fixing the foundation.
Something to chew on. Thanks for breaking that down.
My pleasure.